Is it a nostalgia thing, or is there really some talent there right now? Let's find out. So I have a list here of bands that have been reuniting over the past couple of months. You get Blink 182, you get Creed's Reunion, you get, of course, Linkin Park, Dream Theater, Sum 41, Oasis, the list goes on and on. You get my drift. But, and I'm not even trying to make a point here, I'm just asking you guys, what do you think? Like, are bands reuniting because they ran out of money? Are bands reuniting because they genuinely have a desire to make new music? Or are they just, getting back together because they did nothing else in their lives and they just want to live off the awful days, of the old days? I would argue that it's different for every band. Now, for the ones that I mentioned right now, and let me know in the comments if you think otherwise, or you know of other bands that are reuniting and the reason that you think why they're getting back together. But I would argue, like, you get bands like Linkin Park, right? They stopped making music 7 years, and if you've been listening to their new interviews, you're gonna know that they weren't even planning on getting back together. They even considered coming up with a new name for the band. They considered naming it something else. They just wanted to get together and make music. Now, it should come as no surprise that they started making Linkin Park music, right? It was just the same guys, plus, Chris and Emily. But that's gotta tell you something, at least about them. They're not trying to, make a nostalgia tour and play the old songs with invited vocalists, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they did that as a tribute to Chester, where they invited a bunch of different vocalists to sing their songs. And I don't think that was a cash grab. I think that was a true nostalgic tribute to Chester. But I think that's different to what's happening today with Linkin Park. They are making new music. It just so happens to sound like Linkin Park, and so they decided to name it Linkin Park. And they're creating new music. They're evolving their sound. We still haven't listened, as of the making of this video, to their complete new album. But we've gotten 3 songs that are amazing, and people have, had divided opinions, and you can let me know in the comments what do you think about them. But you get, for example, Blink 182. I just saw them a couple of months ago. They came, everyone in town was ecstatic and crazy. And I think their case is a little bit different because they have released a new album, right? At least in the past year. It's new music. It's true to their sound. They're not making, something completely off radar. But I don't think people went to see their performance to listen to the new songs. To be honest, I can't even recall if they did play some of the new songs. I'm guessing they did because they kind of have to, right? It's their new single. But everyone was going crazy for the classics. And that's why people are still listening to Blink 182 and going to see their show. I think it's different, for example, if you get a band like Linkin Park, which, of course, you're gonna go for the old songs. Of course, you're gonna go for the nostalgia factor to make you feel like you were in high school or junior high or whatever. But at least for me, if I go to a Linkin Park concert right now, today, it's gonna be because I want to listen to The Emptiness Machine, to Over Each Other, to Heavy is the Crown, and of course I'm gonna sing Crawling, and of course I'm gonna sing In the End, and Faint, and Numb, because I love those songs. But I think it's the perfect balance between, what you've come to love of the band since they've begun, but they're coming up with something new. They're offering something new to us, the fans, and not just the same old song, literally. For example, if you think of Oasis or Sum 41, now I'm not really so much into those bands, and you can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I would say those guys are just getting back together because of the nostalgia reasons. I don't even know if they have a new album out, but I think just from what I've seen in the videos and their interviews, and Creed, Creed, I love Creed. Who doesn't love the song My Sacrifice? It was a classic, right? And I think they're reuniting purely because of nostalgic reasons. Now, I'm not saying that's not a good thing. I'm just saying, as a fan, why is everyone reuniting today? Why are all these bands coming back together? Now, a lesser known band, but still in the genre, Dream Theater. Dream Theater is kind of reuniting, but not really. They haven't really stopped making albums like Clockwork. Even when Mike Portnoy, their original drummer, left in 2009, even when he left, they got a new drummer and they started releasing new albums like Clockwork every 2 years. Now, of course, they play their old songs, their classic songs in their tours, but when they do a tour, they do it in support of the new album. They even name the tours, with some wordplay and concept of the new album, and they're gonna play mostly, if not in its entirety, the new album. You're gonna get Metropolis Part 1 and Under a Glass Moon and all of those songs from back in the day, 90s, 91, 94, whatever. So Dream Theater is a different kind of case because right now that Mike Portnoy is back, we are kind of nostalgic because we want to see him perform their old songs, but also we're getting new music. We have a new single out, Night Terror. You may have heard it or not. You may not like this band at all or not. But it's new music and they want to push that new album forward. They're going to release a new album in February and they're playing this single live. They made a video, so they're not trying to be nostalgic about it, except for the fact that it is nostalgic simply because you get your old drummer back, right? But what is it with bands getting back together right now? Which band do you think is honestly trying to put something new out there for us, the fans, while still maintaining a certain level of nostalgia? And which bands do you think still have talent and something new to offer? Now, I'm not saying you don't have talent if you play your old songs, because you need talent even to play and perform those songs live, right? But I mean, the talent and the will to put something new out there for us to still be relevant right now with new proposals, with new music, with new ideas, new angles as to how to approach your own concept. And I think that's the main question here. What do you guys think?